If we see in further information, historical context, partition violence deeply influenced to that kind of so many poet. If we see in post-independence Indian consciousness, creating trauma, displacement, and fragmentation that shape modernist theme of loss, violence, and existential uncertainty. Because if we all know from it that how so many loss of human and so many things and major violence was created in during the independence. Then if we see Nehruvian disillusionment so emerged as the promises of national buildings, rational progress, and secular idealism failed to address social inequality and cultural alienation, then permitting poets to question nationalist narratives. Then urbanization and moral crisis transformed everyday life through a rapid city growth. Then industrialization and anonymity leading to feelings of alienation, ethical breakdown, and skepticism reflected in modernist uh, poetic expression. And we can see that so many themes also emerged from that kind of event. This is three major writer from different language. First, Sudhindranath Dutt belong from Bengali and B.S. Matekar and Ayappa Panikar. First, if we see Sudhindranath Dutt, he engaged Sudhindranath Dutt represent an early and influential phase of Bengali modernist poetry. He marked by a conscious break from romantic and nationalist poetic traditions. He, if we can see, he translate in Bengali language so many best European poets like Stephen and Paul Valery. Then he wrote a critical essay, which name is the necessity of poetry. This essay argues for the primacy of the poetic mind over alignment reason. And his poem, The Campbell Bird, it's also reflect a modernist theme of alienation, loss of traditions, and the crisis of perception in a colonized society. Then B.S. Mardekar, he's known for his Marathi translation. So B.S. Mardekar is a central figure in Marathi modernist poetry, known for radically transforming poetic language and sensibility in the post-independence period. So his exposure to European modernist thought and poetic thoughts translation. It's both thoughts. We can say Madhakar was deeply influenced from that kind of thing, and he reject the idea of sentimental, devotional, and romantic poetic traditions. So he totally break down these things. Madhakar's iconic poem, "Mice in the Wet Barrel Died," represent the urban alienation, existential disappear, and the dehumanizing effect of modern life. His poetry also reflects the urban alienation, existential anxiety, and a moral crisis characteristic of post-colonial modernity. Then Ayappa Panikar. Ayappa Panikar was also a leading figure in Malayalam modernist. Active as a poet, also critic, translator, and editor. Translation played a crucial role in Panikar's engagement with a global modernist literature, which informed his critique of contemporary social and moral realities. So, transition from a romantic to modernist poet, influenced by his translation of T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. His poetry addressed theme of violence, ethical breakdown, and historical disillusionment, often using myth and irony. So, if we see these three translator and poet, if we see, so so all over these translator and poet reflect the same similar themes. So if we see role of translation, introduced a new poetic form by enabling Indian poets to engage with global modernist techniques such as the free verse, fragmentations, irony, and symbolic imagery, which transform original poetic traditions. So, disrupted dominant aesthetics by challenging romantic nationalist ideals, then lyrical sentimentality and a moral certainty that had previously shaped Indian poetry. So, translations also describe major roles. Then mediated modernism by translating the live experience of a post-colonial crisis, alienation, and historical rupture into modernist literary expressions. So, my learning outcomes learned how historical forces such as partitions violence, then Nehruvian disillusionment and urbanizations created the cultural crisis that shaped Indian modernist poetry. Then translation is a central creative practice that introduced a new form, then disrupted dominant aesthetics and legitimized modernist experimentation in regional literatures. So how poets like Sudhirendranath Dutt, then Madhekar and Ayappa Panikar used translation to critique traditions and articulate fragmented modern consciousness. So it's a developed a critical perspective that move beyond Eurocentric center prehapri models, then viewing Indian modernist as a plural, then dialogic and culturally rooted. So this is from my side. For further information, I would like to invite Satakshi.